Good afternoon, everybody. How is everybody doing today? It's a beautiful sunny day here. And a good day to do some rainbow crafts. And we'll give everybody just a minute here to hop on. Make sure we're all connected. And what is everybody up to today? We are going to play with some Vicki Boutin watercolor. I'm just gonna sit my, sorry about that. Get my iPad set up here. Make sure I can see comments. Hello, Jenny, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great day. I am definitely having a good day and loving these rainbows. Trying to work, yeah. Well, it's difficult when there's, you know, crafts happening. Hello, Stacy, how are you? I worked this morning and rushed home and got everything ready. And this was actually a pretty quick one, but I really like the look of it, and I wanted to show you that you could do like a two-in-one type deal here, just with because every time that you cut one out, you get extra circles. You have the background that you've cut out, so you can really do some mix and matching. Hi, Jennifer. These are really fun. These are Vicki Boutin's new watercolor paints, and I think it kind of coordinates with the Fernwood collection, or it came out at the same time, but of course you can coordinate them to any color. They are really fun and a really, really good price point. So I thought we'd do some playing around with them and just kind of see how they work. Hello, Marlo. And of course we've got our little doodads. I've really been liking these Polar Wind, and I didn't actually check in the store to make sure they were still in, but there are a ton of buttons galore, sparklets and sprinklets and embellishments in there. Hello, Lorna. So if you're looking for a few new things, you know, just to sparkle everything up, especially coming into Christmas, we always add, or I always do, a little bit of extra sparkle. We've got this Villainous Potion again. This is such a great purple. And I'm really enjoying that. So I thought I would stamp with that. I really like how the oxides stamp, and we played around with the purple last week, I think. So have a look at the video if you missed that one. We've also got this Opal Blaze. It is the Cosmic Shimmer, and they come in the little pot or the little tube. They're both the same thing, just a different applicator. So the little pot, you just dip your finger in, and then the tube has a little applicator on it that you can just use to brush on. And this one is the Sunset Orange. So I use that on the strip, and you can see how it changes the black cardstock and gives it a really pretty sparkly effect. So this is the die that we're playing with today. It's the Waffle Flower Outline Circles die. I really love the samples that I've seen online, And it really made, I think, a quick and stunning card. There's lots you could do with it. You could definitely, play with it, do all kinds of different colored circles. We're using the Spellbinders Brush Gold. That's been a really great cardstock. There's the Brush Gold and the Brush Silver. And I'm going to use those on the inside there. And then we've got this Avery L. Loads of Hello stamp set. This has really been a great one as well. Hello, Vanessa. So lots of sentiments. I've used this a few times. It stamps really nicely. So we've got the Hello Friend, kind of in that label maker format. And then you can also stamp the hey or the hi or hello, and there is a coordinating die set for this. So this I know is sold out and come back in a couple times, and it was in last time I checked. It's a really great one. Lots and lots of sentiments. Some really cute ones like Buttercup, Friend, and Hot Stuff as well, which I think is really great. And I just wanted to show you, we're going to make this card today, but I wanted to show you that you can easily, just by offsetting these circles, you can use your extras to make another card. Yeah, it really is the great sentiment that, there's birthday boy, birthday girl. Hello, Tamara. And this frame, so this is really quick, simple card. And this frame is from the wooden frame die. And this is the outside one. I really love the 3 frames that are included in this. You love that one, Tamara? You have it? Yes, Avery L. I know is one of your favorites, hey? So we'll move that to the side. I'm going to show you a couple of the new Fernwood things that I got in, and I know they're new in the shop, and then we will make our card. And also this stamping foam was out of stock for quite a while. The dies are really neat. And there's a bunch. So if you want to look at what's new for the dies, just search Waffle Flower in the shop and you'll see everything come up. So this is the stamping foam. I have not used this yet. I'm definitely going to play with this. Hello, Lorraine. And I will definitely be doing a live. So it is back in right now. And if it's something you're interested in and want to grab it, we will definitely play around with this in the next couple of weeks. And the Fernwood collection. So there's lots of things that are included in the Fernwood collection. It is the kit of the month. So if you are interested, hello Rosie, in the kit of the month, you can check that out in the store, and then you can choose the Kit Club and Current, and you'll be able to see exactly what's in the Kit Club. Lots of Fernwood products. There are also add-ons. So when you are part of the kit, this is not the kit, this is just some that are ordered separately. When you are a Kit Club member, then you get the first chance to order any add-ons that you want. So some of these things you'll see that they're in the shop twice. One as an add-on with a discounted price, and if you're a Kit Club member, you get that discounted price and you get to order it first, which is great. So some of these things you'll see just in the shop, some are add-ons, and so that kind of explains that. And there might even be some of this in the kit, and I'm not exactly sure, but you can check. Hello, Betty. And if you're looking to start a Kit Club subscription, it's a really amazing deal. And they're always incredible. So here's a few things. These tassels look amazing. I am really excited about these. I have some planners and I think they'll look really cute attached to the planner. I think if you were doing up a stocking for someone and you wanted to add this like a little stocking stuffer or on the side, you've got Create, Today. They're so pretty. Love and Hello. And this is like a faux leather type material almost, it feels like. Kind of a cross between that and not quite a felt, like it's stiffer than a felt, but they're really beautiful. And Rosie has linked to the new products in the store, and she's put a couple other links up there. Thanks, Rosie. So these are the tassels with the acrylic charms. If you had a little pencil case, you could clip them on, lots of different things. I think they're very cute. This one also looks really fun. So this, in the store, you'll find it under the tag book with the ring. So you get the ring in there, and I had forgot I ordered it. So when I got my order, I was really excited because when I saw Sandy show these, I totally wanted one. So I'll just show you if you think, look how cute that is with the shaker. Now, if you didn't want to make these into a tag book, then you could completely just use them separate as embellishments. They are really cute, but I think having them on this and even adding things in between that are like, you know, photos and small little scrapbook pages are going to be really cute for a little tag book. So those are really sweet. And then the rest of them are in here, and you can mix and match them whichever way you want. I think this is going to be a really big hit. Tamara, you have a tag book from last year's release, and was it Vicki Boutin's? I didn't get that one. And this one here, so cool. I love the houses. And you've got, oh, look at that. That even opens up. These are so sweet. This is hard. This is actually like a chipboard. So you could have these for the covers if you want, I think, or really anywhere. So those are really cute. Then we have the icon ephemera. So these are all the little icons. The Fernwood set is beautiful, isn't it, Betty? It's come out in the fall with kind of Vicki's traditional muted, little bit fall colors, but I think you could use this for absolutely any season. Mushrooms are really trendy this year, which is cute. So of course, it's nice to see those in there. Look at that. And there are so many ways. So you could coordinate these with your tag book if you wanted to make your tag book, or you could put these on your cards, your scrapbook pages. You've got sentiments in there. Lots of flowers and the houses. So it's just such a pretty, pretty line. And there are the other ones here. The gnome is very cute. So just to give you a quick look at these guys here, that little looking glass, you could stamp something in there. Staying in the now. So lots and lots of things, whether you're journaling or scrapbooking. And lots of different sizes, depending on what you're looking for. The dragonflies, love the flowers. These are going to be really pretty to work with. And we have the Stories of Us puffy phrase and accent stickers. So these are little puffy sentiments that you're going to be, they're not little, they're actually would be a great size for titles. Lots and lots of different titles that you can use. Photos and documenting and stories. And then you've got all these little images, stars and dots. So essentially, you're probably getting as many little things in here as you would like a pack of enamel dots. And they're all in little puffy stickers, probably more than you would. Plus you get all the sentiments. So don't overlook all these little things. These are great to put around your pages and use for embellishing, just like you would sequins. the Bountiful stencils, and I believe there's 2 packs of stencils. This is the one that I have here. So love this one with almost like the paint splatters, and this would make such a great background. And circles like this always make me think of coffee as well. This I think would be beautiful. Like I can even see like Christmas cards with a glitter paste through this in the background. Would look really nice. Then you've got these flowers and leaves. You have this one, Jenny. I really like it. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really great one. Again, the price point of her stencils I think is amazing. This one is the Beautiful Day Foil Chipboard Stickers. The large and scale large and small, definitely. So yes, and you could even layer those. You could layer the bigger circles over those smaller, and customize your stencils. So these are foil chipboard stickers. So they're chipboard, and then you've got the foil accents on them. And again, you've got all these little embellishments. And I love house, doesn't matter, like stamps or stickers or images. I just love houses. Then we have all these little sentiments that you can put on your pages, on your cards. And of course the colors and the images are all going to coordinate with all that ephemera. And there's a close-up look at the back side of it. Love these tabs. Are the puffy words part of the kit? Rosie, are you able to are you able to check on that to see if the puffy stickers are part of the kit, or would it be something that she would have to order separately? And if you're not able to look that up right now, I'll definitely look it up for you after, Marlo. So that is a look at the chipboard stickers. I love the envelope too. There are also 2 stamp sets that are beautiful that coordinate. Okay, thanks, Rosie. And there's a whole bunch of open stock paper. It's double-sided. I only have these 2, but you can check, just type Fernwood and you'll see everything come up. And there's gorgeous patterns. So I have the tags here, and these look like, they're not 3x4, but they look like maybe they're 2.5 by, let's see, 2.5 by 4. So you get lots of tags, and then you have all these strips that you can cut apart, as well as some sentiments. And then on the back, this really great painted look. And we could even do something similar with the paints. I think would be really fun. This is the 3x4. And so you've got all these beautiful 3x4. And if you wanted to do that tag book, you could totally use these in your tag book as well. They are so pretty. And I love the ones that have like the mail and the library card. And then look at this background. Is that not gorgeous? So definitely check out the rest of the papers if you like this style, or check out the kit. If you're liking that and want to go ahead with the kit, then you can check that out in the shop. All right, so for our card today, I'm using some Vicki Boutin Foundations paper. So this is the thick paper pad. It's 140 pound cardstock that has like a sizing or a gesso on the top side. And so it helps to, create a base for your mixed media or your watercolor or your, paints or inks, and helps them move around a bit. Or you could use watercolor paper as well. I really like the weight of this, and I like how everything reacts to it. So I think it's, you know, no matter what, it's a good deal because you can use it for scrapbook pages, or a lot of times I'm going to cut it up, and you can see there's the watercolor on the back of that. So when I get my paints, and you can see they're a little bit wet here, I usually, because they're completely dry, so I will spritz them with water. So this is just wetting those dry paints, and it's going to absorb some water, and it's going to help everything kind of go on nice and smooth. So let's see here. We've got a paintbrush that comes with the kit, or you could use your own or whatever. It's nice that there is a little paintbrush that's included. And when I'm doing this, what I would normally do is, let's see here, I've got some water to the side, and I will dip my paintbrush in, and then I'm going to turn this around just so I can reach these paints and just make sure we can see everybody in the camera. Hi, Karen. So I dip my paintbrush in, even though my paint is a little bit wet. Before I put it in my paint, I'm actually going to just paint on my paper just to put down a base of water. So whether I'm using watercolor paper or the foundations paper, I'm going to do the same thing because I'd rather have it nice and wet and add more color. So then when I drop in the color, it's going to spread wherever I put that water. So then we can kind of just move it around. We can add some more water in certain places. We can grab a little bit more color, and see how when you grab it, it's going to be a little darker. So then we can just, and this really is just so relaxing. Have you guys painted with watercolor for a while? Like when I think about watercolor painting, I think I often think about, you know, like kids and their watercolor paint set, and it's just really relaxing, and almost kind of that freeing, because it's going to dry how it's going to dry, and you don't need to really overthink it. You know, add some color in, and then if it's exactly how you want it to be, then you can just dry it a little bit, or we can go on to our next color. So because we're doing rainbow color, I'm okay if things flow into each other. So if we were doing two colors side by side that we didn't want completely running into each other, then we could dry this, and then it's not going to be so much of a mixture. You love painting of any type, Betty? It's so relaxing, isn't it? All right, now we're going to go into our orange. So I added the base, and if you forget and don't add water, it's fine. You're just going to go back and add a little bit of water. But I feel like it flows nicer and you have more ability to move it around. And I'm just kind of grabbing color, and we can always go back and add more color, you know, add more water, and it's going to mix a little bit there, and that's totally fine. And then if there's any parts where you want kind of just soften, then you can add a little bit more water. And then we'll add in our yellow. It's okay that it has a little bit of orange in there because, like I said, it's rainbow. So I want to make sure that we get all our colors. So we'll bring this yellow up a little bit. Now, if you did get your colors mixed up, if you forgot to rinse it well, and then you got some orange mixed in with your yellow, you can just dab it out with a little bit of um, little paper towel, and it'll just wipe right off, or wipe it with a wipe. So really, you know, if you're not, unless you're just mixing them, they're going to be fine if you get a little bit of the colors mixed together. So then we have green. So I really like that there's 3 different greens because I love different color greens. So I was playing around. This is watercolor paper, and you can see that watercolor background. And this was this color here, which is a little bit more greeny blue. And then this one, I use this color. So I thought, let's try the lighter green color and see how that looks. And you can always mix colors too. I'll show you how to do that. And painting backgrounds is just, I mean, this is really basic, just watercolor stripes. But stripes on backgrounds with watercolor paints are really great. I love that color. And then we'll go into our blue. And you remember that paper with the dashes, you could totally do that really easily. So for blue, I used this color for this. It's kind of a navy blue. And let's see here. Yeah, and then this was on the watercolor, the navy. And this one here, I'm pretty sure I used this blue. So just to give you an idea of what color that is. And again, I think swatching, you can see these go nice and creamy once you've got them wet, and they will dry. You don't have to worry about getting them too wet because once they sit, they just dry again to the paint. And that's really nice and bright, and we're going to water that down a little bit. But swatching out whether you have inks or paints or anything, swatching really gives you a great idea of the colors that you have, how they react, because different colors have, you know, some are darker and have more pigment, and I'm a big fan of swatching. And sometimes just that swatching is just so relaxing and gives you some really great ideas about what you'd like to do. So if you cut up some squares or rectangles and swatched out these colors, then you could have them on a little ring, and they're pretty too, right? So we've got our rainbow background. Okay, we'll let that dry for a second, and then we'll probably give it a shot with the heat gun. So that's really easy. You definitely don't have to be any kind of Picasso to do that. Now, if you wanted to mix your colors, so if we wanted to, say, make a different color green, and we wanted to take some of this blue, then you're going to put it into your palette, then rinse your paintbrush off, or say we wanted a different purple. And then we would take our pink and mix that up. And now you have your new color over here, and you can easily wipe it off. So this is a really great way. So say we wanted to do some purple circles. Then you're just picking it up, and you can add more water as you need. And you can either let it dry there and you could use it, or if you pretty much used it up, you would definitely be able to just wipe it off. So if you wanted to do some easy brush lettering, and just playing around with it really is fun. And then you just wipe it up. So really you have 12 colors, but you can mix whatever colors that you want just by doing some basic color mixing and just play around with it really. So we can move that off to the side. Okay, we will give this a little shot. I just stuck my finger in it there, but it's okay. We could fix it just by there. Now you could also put this through your laminator if you have a laminator, and it will straighten it completely out. Or you could just set it aside to dry. Drips are also a fun thing if you've got your paints and they're nice and wet and you're holding them up, you know, to the side or the top and you're letting it drip down. That you're also going to get a really great effect like that. So if you do have a laminator, you can throw that in just to get it nice and straight, but it actually doesn't warp too bad. And I added quite a bit of water, but that foundations paper can really hold a fair amount of water. So now we're going to use this outline circle die and we're going to die cut it. So for the card here, I die cut it up straight, but I kind of like it off to the side when I did this one. So I thought, let's just kind of put it on a little bit of an angle, and I'm just going to grab some washi tape. And you could just do a bunch of backgrounds and have some really great backgrounds. And even if it's a background that you don't absolutely love, when you die cut something, I find that it really changes the look of what you've got there. And usually if you have a background that you're not in love with, once you die cut it, you're going to love it. So we're just going to run this through. That die cut is great. Hey Betty, it's very basic, but there's so much you could do with it. So don't forget, we want to keep all the pieces because we can definitely mix and match. So we're going to pull that off carefully. So now we're not going to use any of these that we cut out, but that means we have them to use in the next project that we do. So this is going to be our base. Now we are going to keep these little tiny pieces that go on the inside. So we'll keep those. And then I already die cut just a black piece of cardstock. And then I've got the Spellbinders brushed gold. So we're actually going to just die cut this as well. So if you had a bunch of colors of paper and then some backgrounds that you painted, you could just die cut and start mixing and matching. I think this size is really great too for a tag, would be really nice, like a good size tag, and you could totally do Christmas with this if you felt like you wanted to do Christmas. So this one, we need all the little circles that are in there. So we'll keep that. And we are going to take, this is a top folding card. And really, this is pretty easy. You could make a really great shaker with this as well. You could put some acetate behind that and have leave the circles out and do a really fun shaker window. That would be great. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue onto this paper. I think too, well, there's lots of different watercolor techniques, but you could even do like a smushing where you're tapping it in, or putting the watercolor on some plastic packaging and doing that smooshing technique. That would be really great. So this is going to be, just gonna try and eyeball line it up. Oh, I almost did it upside down. I'm gonna guess you could really have it whichever way you want. I'm trying to do rainbow color. So we're just gonna press that flat on. Okay, then we have our black outline. If you had those sticky specks, so it's warm up here in the window, and I brought my stuff up from downstairs, and I think when the temperature changed, the glue likes to expand a little bit. So if you had those sticky specks, you could just stick this on, the sticky specks, or any kind of liquid adhesive. Try not to glue everything. And we're just gonna fit this in, and hopefully, yeah, I glued it the right way, so it's fitting in there, so that's good. So the foundations paper is pretty sturdy, so it's going to glue down pretty much the right spot that you want it glued down. Then we'll punch this out, and we want to glue this in. And this is really nice for an inlaid die cut technique. And there's not too many pieces. Okay, then we've got just a little, oh, not that one. We've got a little triangle here. And it's probably easier if you have like your little pickup stick or jewel picker, which I forgot to grab. So that would definitely, or some tweezers, that would make it easier, but it just pops in. And this one right here. And then the circles are going to be very quick to put in. So again, I think this is a really relaxing card to make. So we've got all of the gold circles. We can just punch that out. And this die punches really nicely. Plus I love this brush gold and silver cardstock. I think it die cuts really nicely as well. So then we just start adding our foam tape, and I didn't add foam to all of it. I've got some pieces, and this one is, I'm almost done the Studio Cadia foam roll. So I thought I'd try the 3L foam roll, and I'm really liking it. So I like the width of or the thickness of the foam. I think it's a great thickness. And I also like that the backing comes off nice and easy. So sometimes if you're making a bunch of stuff and you just don't want to really fuss with a whole bunch of backing stuff, it makes it really easy. And it seems to stick quite nicely, but if you do have to move it, it will pull off. So sometimes it's just a matter of trying a few different kinds. So I am just popping up some of these, and then some of them I'm going to glue directly down. And you're just fitting these in. So obviously, like, you can do whatever you want with these circles, whatever colors. If you wanted to pop in the colors that you popped out, you could do that as well. I'll put a large one here. And then this one, we will glue directly down so that we can put our sentiment on it. And we'll pop this one up. So really whatever you feel like doing. And these large ones are the same size, so it's not hard to figure out where to put anything. There we go. And we have one left that will pop up. Okay, so there's the base part of our card. Now you can see we have all of these circles left. I have the black circles left from what I punched out here. And when I layered these, I'm not going to make this one, but just to give you an idea. For this one here, I layered the black one on, and then the gold, and then the rainbow, just offsetting them a little bit. And I love how this turned out. Like, I think that one, and it was so easy and quick. So you have all these pieces, even if you don't do anything with them right away, if you stick them in a little bag, they're going to be all together. And then when you need a card or you want to sit down and do something, all your pieces will be there. Okay, so now we have a little bit of black cardstock. And then we have some of that brush gold again. So the black, we are going to take this Cosmic Shimmer. Hello, Denise. And this was the Sunset Orange. And this changes color whether you have it on dark or light cardstock. So we're just going to rub it on, and then if you feel like you need help, you can just even use your finger to smooth it out. And if you have the pots and you feel like they're a little bit dry in the pot, you just spritz them with water and they come right back to life. Okay, I have a question. If anybody, I am not a plant person. I like plants, but I feel like they don't like me. So I just, at Costco, I bought the arrangement. There's a arrangement, and it smells like it's real pine and some real branches, but I don't know if I'm supposed to water it. If you guys have any suggestions, that would be great, because if I could keep it like alive for a little bit, that would be awesome. My daughter actually has a little African violet, and I don't touch it because I know like I'll probably overwater it, I think she forgets about it half the time, and it looks great. It survives. All right, so this is the little strips. This is how it looks with that opal polish. And there are a bunch of colors in the shop, and they all look different depending on the color and depending on white or dark cardstock. But some of them, like there's a teal one that has a really pretty teal color. I like this sunset orange. I really love the color that it ends up being. And you can do it on like, it doesn't have to be just light or dark cardstock. You can put on colored cardstock. And then we're going to put this as a strip. And this is kind of a good way as well to extend rather than putting a whole base behind. If you just wanted a strip of something. And then we have these little strips of gold, and those are just going to go over top. Again, I think this is a really great card to use up your scraps. You would water it until it's frozen if I'm keeping it outside. Yes, I am keeping it outside. It'd be amazing tucked into a scrapbook page. You are right, Betty. Yeah, thanks, Lorraine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a little bit of water. I had a mum sitting outside, and it actually lasted quite a long time. I think I forgot to water it at the end, or it might have just got too cold because we just threw it out at Halloween, but it lasted longer than I thought it would. How was everybody's Halloween? We had almost 70 kids come, and I was surprised because I think that's similar to like a pre-COVID year. And the girls went out and they had lots of fun. So it's good. It was kind of a nice, normal thing to do. All right, now we are going to use the stamp set, which I love. So we've got Hello Friend on this one. You had two, and they were both your grandkids. Oh. Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect. We'll do Hey. By the end, I always have like a whole bunch of glue stuck to my hand. Okay. We've got Hello Friend, let's do Hey Sunshine. And I'm going to do that in the Villainous Potion. I always want to call this Villainous Violet, but I think it was a good choice for a new ink color. Did you dress up, Lorraine? I did not dress up this year. Sometimes I do put on a little bit of a costume, and we have just a little costume bin. And I did not. And it was a little chilly, although Erica was fine. Amy went out with her friends, but Erica was not cold at all because I think she was just fueled by excitement. She said it was the best day of her life except for Christmas and her birthday. So it was very exciting. All right, so then we can just use our scissors, and you could make little strips, but these are pretty easy to cut out, and then the die cuts in the shop will cut out the words and the exclamation mark, and they look really great. You knew you wouldn't have too many kids, yeah. So I'm just going to trim those out. And if you wanted a nice thick cardstock, you could still use the foundations paper. This does stay wet a little bit longer. And I just noticed I was smudging it a little bit. So just be careful to let it dry before you kind of rub it too much, or just give it a shot with the heat gun. And we'll just take our foam tape and pop that up. So you can see kind of here I did a little bit more adding water and kind of moving it around so you can get different effects. This one I did a little bit more of just doing stripes, and either one looks good. It just depends on how it turns out, how you like it. So we'll add on our foam tape. And I like all the sentiments you can combine. So I'm just putting that lightly so that we can still move it if we decide we need to move it around a little bit. That's pretty much dry now. It didn't take too long. It just needed a little bit. So we can put our Hey Sunshine there, which I think is cute. And then we have these little embellishments. So this is the Polar Wind. And then these are an older one from Picket Fence. And there might be some different ones from Picket Fence in the shop. This one was Spring Fling. I don't think this one is there anymore. But you can just search for sequins or Picket Fence sequins and find whatever's in the shop. And if you have a jewel picker type thing, that's definitely helpful. So we'll add on, I am grabbing the wrong ones here. Okay. If you're not sure where to put your sequins, then I would suggest lay them out, see if you like them, kind of look at them from further away. If you're still not sure, sometimes if you take a picture or look through your camera, you can almost get a better idea of what's working, or like if your eye was drawn to something that looked like it just didn't really match, then you could change it up. So lots of times too, if you have different sequin mixes, you can pick through, and like there's clear ones in here if I didn't want to use the green. But I think the green looks good with it. Oh, I glued that one on already. And these usually don't take very long to dry. Any liquid glue is going to hold them on really nicely. You could also use the tonic clear, I can't think of what it's called right now. That one would be a good one to use. Let's see, I think that's probably good. Rosie has linked the picket fence sequins that are in the shop. Thanks, Denise. She must be so fun to be around. I think that you mean Erica. She is fun. She's definitely she's fun, but she likes to push things. So all right, so here is our glossy accents. Yes, Irene. And then, so Ranger has the glossy accents and Tonic has the crystal glaze. I think that's what I'm thinking. So either one works nicely as well to hold sequins on. And here's a look at that card. Yeah, the circle die, really fun. Lots of different ways to use it. And there you go. You're going to have lots of leftovers so that you can make some fun cards and tags, even without putting anything inside and just having this as a background, like I think Betty was saying, tucking it in would be fun. Thanks, guys. So that is that. You know, if you decide to try out your Vicki Boutin watercolors, we would love to see some backgrounds that you're doing. We have a challenge in the Scrap Shotz paper crafting group that is red and green. That goes till mid-December. So make sure that you look for the album in the paper crafting group. Thanks, Janet. And pop in your projects that have red and green in them. And there'll be a chance to win. Otherwise, just have fun. Have a great week. Hopefully you guys have some crafty time coming up this weekend. Thanks, Rosie. And you'll get to just play around with some stuff. So have an awesome week, guys. I will see you next week. And thank you so much for popping in. I'll talk to you later. Bye.